So it was less than a minute. Yeah, this is a nice alien hair color. Already see I need to redo that part, but that's okay. I can't use the skin toner for Alien because that's too close to her hair. But it might be a nice skin tone for Malin. Messed it up a little bit, but that's okay. I just grab a brush, grab the paint, and put it somewhere else. And I believe that hint of blue actually helped. Okay, so this can go and dry. And let's mark the cap. Not very good mark, but you know, as long as it does the job. And I missed a spot over here. Does look like it's going to be the color I like, which means I can use part of this paint to make a lighter version of it, so it can match the lighter parts, which means these wing sides and this big dress. So Alien can go and dry. I haven't looked up what the gem is gonna be. Okay, first of all, is this clean? Yes, this is. I'm gonna do a second coat of Miku. Am I still talking? Yeah, I'm still talking. This is one of those markers that doesn't really give a good coverage, so I might grab an acrylic marker to go over it, but then at least I have a base coat. Which means you need less paint from your good marker. This will be dry soon enough. And then I can use my acrylic one. This is probably dry. Does need a second coat. But then it's going to be done as well, so I can spray paint it. There we go. Second coat, then into the spray tray. Because this does need to dry well before spraying. And everything here is still drying eye-wise. I'm working on these as well. I don't know what kind of junk was in there, but it's gone now. I'm testing out $1 paint. And it's working as you expect it would work. Absolutely crappy terrible. But you know me, I have it, I'm using it. I know people who toss away paint, but that's, well, bad for the environment, so I'd rather not do that. I know that acrylics can feel like plastic when paint on, but this takes the cake. This just dries up like plastic. You probably need something very that sucks up the paint to make it work somewhat. Is my battery charging? 15%. Okay, I'll check in a couple of minutes again. And this is probably going to be mixing paint. If you mix something and you need a different paint, just like that crappy base paint I have. You can grab good paint and then mix it in there. First I'm going to put the blue where it's supposed to be, and then I'm going to mix it. It has a very low opacity. So overall, don't recommend it paint. Of course, it was €1, so. What did I expect? Well, I expected some kind of paint, not something globby. I'm still learning how to do gradients, so It's not perfect. And ironically, the blended parts or the attempted blending parts are nicer than the unblended paints. First, I'm going to tap into this corner. And this dark purple dries up almost black. So yeah, if you do have this paint, use it as a mixing paint with other paints just to get a little of a hue shift or whatever. Don't expect greatness. And I know you can't recognize it because it's in those tins, but they are from the Action. I don't think they have it anymore. And they were €1. But this is not the only set of wings I'm working on. Also working on these. Let's first do the neon yellow. It's getting darker, so we might be getting some rain, which I would not object to. And I'm probably going to use this yellow as a base coat before using other neon paint that actually adheres a little bit better. How far is the battery now? 70%, yes, it is charging. Slowly, but it is charging. Probably because I'm streaming. That takes a lot of battery power. Because of course I have more expensive neon paint. But if I have a decent coat underneath that's already neonish, I have to use less of that. So sometimes using crappy paint for a base coat for good paint, make sure you'll last longer with that paint. At least this paint covers a lot better. But this also has a plasticky feel. Don't know yet what I'm gonna do with these butterfly wings. First dabbing it in before I go blend. It's already drying a bit. Okay, let's blend it a bit. Okay. Clean my brush and letting it dry. Okay, so that means I have currently nothing more to paint because everything is all drying. Well, I can do the backside of the Miku one, of course, because that one should be dry already. Yep, it is. Dropping some neon paint on it. Wonderful. Where is my green acrylic marker? There we go. This should be the final coat. And then you can be spray painted as well. How about I don't drop my hand into a dirty rag? See? Terrible marker completely covered up. Less paint needed for my good marker. So you can go into the spray tray, and then my spray tray is kind of full already. I can just move things around. Make space for the Miku. There we go. You can go and dry. Now, what else to do? Because drying, everything is drying. Well, these are not going to be standees, so let's give these a back. And I know this one, when sprayed, becomes pinkish, which is fine because it's the back. But this also isn't the greatest marker. This one is also a disappointment. Most of these markers are fine. It's just a couple of them are not that great. Okay, that's one. What the heck is this? Is this a bug? Great. There's a dead bug on here. How did it get there? Didn't even notice. So I can turn these into pins as well. There we go. First layer done. Couple of minutes of drying time, and then you can redo it. Okay, so I don't need these at the moment. Put away things you don't need at the moment. I have a couple of drying trays, and well, I think I can put them away anyway. I don't need a drying tray yet now. Let's put these away with the other drying trays. You can go up here and you can go in here, and there we go. Now, I still have a drying tray when needed. I got myself a cheap frame. There we go. And I don't need the glass. Glass is just going to go on my craft pile. I do need this sheet. So let's first grab this. Because I need some old paint of mine that I never tried out. Is this? This is my black gesso. That's not the one I need. Should be in here anyway. I think it's this one. Let's put this in here. And I'm going to use a different brush for this. This is magnetic paint. Let's see for the English. Acrylic-based magnetic paint transforms any surface into a magnetic board. Brush 3 or more coats crosswise, leaving 2 hours to dry in between. Waterproof and paintable with various types of paint when dry. Well, I think I can use this for that. Never used this before, but I do need a magnet surface, so apparently it's you can paint it when done, so that's also something I might test later on, but first of all we're going to paint this surface. Why? Because I need a magnetic surface. Okay, so this is very thin. My pink brush is going to be, and I think I'm going to need more coats if I look at this. First we need a surface to which the paint can adhere. Spread it all out. Of course, this is paper, so it doesn't really like it that much, of course. Okay, so first we're gonna put back some of the paint. Little pieces of metal are jumping out. Like I said, it's gonna need a couple of coats. They say 3 coats, but I'm probably gonna have to do a bit more to get it nice and evenly coated. See, it's already drying. Can't remember where I got this magnetic paint. I believe I got it from a store that also sold a lot of poster paint in big containers, which I'm going to use in the future as well. See, it's already coating nicely. Sure, you need 2-3 hours of layers in between, so this is going to be a long project. So, first coat. Is this brush now forever ruined? No, it's not. Looks fine. But yeah, this is probably going to take a couple of coats. And then let's see, where can I put this to dry? They put it over here. And with this little frame, I can make a sign on which I can put a character magnet and let people know I'm open. Let's see if I can find that character that I want to do. It's in the test bin. Why are you here anyway? Oh, Matsuru Clover. Taurus. My very failed donut seal. And there she is. Put you over here. This one was a failed test print because of this little line, but I can easily fix that. So I can use this to turn this penny character into a magnet. But first we need to clean her up. You know what? If I'm going to test it, let's test it all the way. That's not what I'm looking for. I have it down here, so I didn't even need to open this drawer. Fine. It's already hot, and what am I going to do? Add even more heat. These scripts are wonderful to plug that hole. And the hole is plugged. Okay, what I now want to do is see if it helps if I clean it this way using a heating tool. Will this go faster and cleaner? See, and this is why I don't waste my test prints, because fixing it is easy. Doesn't really work that well either, but that's something I probably have to get used to, get more control. This is the first time I'm doing it this way. But I do think it makes it cleaner. You just have to be very careful for the very thin parts. And if I can't salvage something, I put it in my jar that is to remelt. Okay, can't really reach inside there. Dear little fly, please go away. You're bugging me. This is something you need to practice as well. It looks so easy, but when you're doing it, so this is going to be a part of my "We are open" sign. I'm going to turn it into a magnet, hence why I need a magnetic surface. Oh, there's a little bit of hole in here as well. And it's plugged. Good thing the door is open because you need to do this in a well-ventilated area. Of course, paint will fill a lot, make it a lot more. Make it a lot more smooth. Okay, this is starting to fume away too much for my liking. Cool down. And keep a close eye on this rag. I always put it to cool off in a glass jar. And we need it. Little spot in here. Well, let's see what happens when we gesso this. we need to stir it. Here's my gesso stirring stick. I mean, if we have it, let's put it on here anyway. Let's waste as little as possible and then use this wet paint to cool down my cleaning rag that just had some burning tools on them. So I'm going to have one pin and one magnet penny. And this is my own gesso blend. It has official gesso, but it also has a bit of crappy white paint extra. And a bit of kitty glue that is too thin to actually use for something. Okay, I just had my knife. Put it upside down in there. Sure, because that makes sense. So this gesso is a bit thinner, but the previous version I had made had too much chunks in there. And you could see that in the paint. So hence why I made a new version. I'm gonna need plenty of gesso for the new year anyway, so nothing gets wasted. Well, as little as possible gets wasted because I can't save everything. And I only need a sign for when we're open. We don't need a sign for when we're closed because then there will be a rolling hatch in front of the door. So that's pretty much obvious where we'd be closed. But sometimes I have my door open, but then I have visitors coming. So that means I'm not open. And this has a lot of bubbles in there. And you can dry. Okay, so that's that project. Well, first layer is already dry. Ooh, doesn't really feel nice at all, but that's okay. Magnet paintbrush. Shake well before use. Doesn't say it, but yeah, shake well before use. Probably because most of the magnet parts is at the bottom. Maybe I can shake it upside down while holding the lid. It's my nightmare to just accidentally have a lid get loose. But I really dislike this paint. I do wonder if the magnet will be strong enough to hold through the glass, because then I can put it on the glass. I'm also not sure just yet how I will write open on it, or that I will print those. Not sure yet how I'm gonna do everything, but it's a start to make this magnetic. Second coat. Just making it black. That is all. Okay. That means all the painting stuff is done for now. Everything is drying. And when everything is done drying, I can give it a second coat, or continue, but we're waiting. So first of all, what I'm going to do is create a stamp, because I need a couple more stamps, letter stamps. And this is my tin of homemade stamps. For example, I have one here with my web address. Let's see, it doesn't have a little @ symbol because I didn't find one with an @ but I have a separate stamp for that, so I can make my web address. I have one that says free gratis. That's going to be important later. I just tossed all my paint over. Sure, why not? There we go. I made one for a friend that says Ambaran with flowers. I have one that says thank you. I have another one that says thank you because I want a bit of diversity. I have a thin letters, keep in mind, and I want to make a big one of that with big letters. I have one that says recycle. I have one that says thank you. I have a little turtle because, you know, turtles. And this is a homemade stamp that I haven't really been able to use just with correctly. I still have to test it out. And a seal with a turtle as well. And these are all my letters. I have more on the way, but I want a thick letter stamp that says keep in mind. So I need at least, and this is a bit big, but I didn't have anything smaller, and I do like the one with the grid. And this is, it's not that hard to create, but I do notice it takes a toll on my neck because you're looking down a lot. Let's see, where is my stash of, right Here is my stash of acrylic plates. Let's see if I can. I need to have 4, but this one, then I need to think a bit too much about it. I mean, I can take one without a grid, but that makes it a bit trickier. But I think this is the way to go, probably. Just checking what else I have. Plenty of tinies. And I have thank you stamps on the way, so I can have quite a bit of diversity. This one is too small. No, this is the way to go. And I need my scissors for that. And I'm going to hydrate. There we go. Hydration done. I'm going to put away you because I don't think I need you anymore. And otherwise, I'll just grab it again. Because that means I have some more light in my space. There we go. Did I topple my paint over again? Right, first thing I'm going to do is peel off the protective foil. No, these are weird shapes, by the way. But those were a lot cheaper than the squares. For some odd reason. Maybe because they didn't sell that well. Now I want thick letters. And I want to make sure I use up as much as possible. As you can see, some are quite empty already, but there's an E in here. So I just want to, there's no K in here. Like I said, I have more on the way, so it's not like I can't use it. Downside of these letters is you need to cut them loose. Which is a bit tedious. Okay, that's the K. Let's use these squares, so it's easier to line them. And these stems are just going to stay like this, so it's not like I'm going to use them. I need an E. And I need to make more stamps. Okay, this E is done. So we're grabbing the E from the big one over here. And the P. Do we have a P in this one? No, but we do have a P on this one. I have a whole sheet left. And there are 5 more coming. Which one do I need? This one. The eye is easier reachable for this one. And why did I not order a stamp that just says keep in mind? Well, first of all, now I have several. And let's say it's a lot cheaper, by the way. I can reuse it. So for some odd reason, I stop with my company. I can still use this. Wait, I used the wrong eye. Well, I'm gonna need it for the next stamp anyway, so. And I need to use the wrong P. Great. That's what you get for not paying attention. But that's my own fault. Is there an N here? Yes, in the middle. Okay. And the downside of these silicone letters is they are too clean. Wait. Can't spell anymore. Which means you need to let to dry a little bit of ink on it. So the next ink will adhere better. Let's see, I need an eye, I need an eye. Eye done. There's still an eye here. I need an N. An N. Is there an N still here? No, there's an N still here. This is my final N. So that means for my other stamp, I need to use a different font, which is fine. And the D. Is there a D easy reachable? Yes, this one is easier to reach. Of course, you could sand these silicone stamps, but not gonna do that. there's too big of a risky rune in them. Okay, so let's see if I put them all correctly in the first try. I need a piece of paper. I can use this one. Still have plenty of scrap paper, so don't worry about that. See, it says okay from okay, I guess. I put it everything back. And as you can see, paint is very splotty. Text is fine. Just need to adhere a bit more. Just keep it dirty a bit so the ink will adhere better. Trudy has trouble adhering. Usually it adheres a lot better. So let me see if I can fix that. Do I need to use my different stamp pillow for that? Let's grab my different stamp pillow. See, already it adheres a lot better. And perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna stop for now with this stamp and stream, and I'm going to do... I'm not going to do another one. I'm sorry. It's already 4. Dinner is soon. So only 2 streams today. Next week, another stream. And of course, we have the penny stream. So don't forget that on Thursday. But at least we now have a nice keep in mind stamp. Already had one, but now one nice thick letters. And I'll be making 2 other ones. But I'll do that offline because, you know, not too much time anymore. So I'll be seeing you, I guess, next week. Bye bye.